Today, I want to go over 3 books that if you read will absolutely change your life. And these books, they don't really relate to each other, so I'm sorry if you wanted like a cohesive list, but these are just books I think that everyone should read that have applicability to everybody, and that's what this is all about. Like, I don't know who you are, you don't know who I am, but I know these books will help you, and that's a powerful message. So let me get started with the first book. The first book is a classic. If you haven't read this book, I think you should really just pick it up today. How to Win Friends and Influence People might be the best book to read if you really want to start changing your situation, because communication is everything. If you can properly communicate with somebody, then you can properly get your way. And if you can properly get your way, you're going to go very far in life. But so many people bicker, so many people argue, so many people do all of these things that really take them away from the communication aspect. And I'll tell you what, it wasn't Andrew Carnegie's talent that got him to the billions of dollars that he made. It was his ability to manage people, his ability to communicate. And if you could master this skill, you can master your own life. And this book is a very, very, very good start to that path of self-mastery in terms of communication. So with that said, I think you should really pick up that book. On to the next one. Next one is The 4 Agreements. This is a book I've talked about a lot on this channel. I haven't talked about it in a while, but it is amazing. It is tremendous. This is a Toltec philosophy. Basically, Toltec is Aztecian mysticism. I think that's the best way to describe it, but it's a tremendous book. One of the first agreements, or it is the first agreement. The first agreement is use your words impeccably, which just means like the things you say, the way you speak about things really goes to shape how you view things in your mind. So when you have a situation and it's a bad situation, if you say, well, I can never get past this, I can never do this, I can never do that, what you're telling your mind is that you shouldn't even try. And that's the big issue with most people in the world. They don't even try. They don't even go after it. They're so wrapped up in their mind that they can't even begin to attempt it because they're just simply framing it in the wrong way. And like, one of the biggest determinations if you can do something is if you believe it. Like, everything has to be done twice. First, it has to be imagined in your reality. Or first, it has to be imagined in your mind, and then second, it gets brought forth into reality. And when we understand this, we have to understand that the words we use, the thoughts we have such an effect on our lives. And this book is great because it's not just philosophy, it's also like mystical. It's also almost not religious, but like spiritual in a sense. And it's really cool to see that a few thousand years ago, people had a better understanding of their mind and how their mind works than 99.999% of people today. Like, there are probably only a handful of people who understood the world and understood the mind better than Don Miguel Ruiz. And this book's just a masterpiece. I really, really love it, and I think you should pick it up if you're particularly struggling with your relationship to others, with your relationship to the world, if you're not where you want to be, because this book is going to reframe things and resettle them in a way that allows you to approach life. And that's what it's about. Like, if we can approach life from a different angle and continue to see different angles and different perspectives, like, eventually we will find the path for us. Eventually we will find out who we really are. But it's until we do these tasks, it's until we read books like this and begin the thought processes that we really begin to make a difference in our lives. And the last book I want to leave you on today is Psycho-Cybernetics. This is a very, very, very good book. If you haven't read Psycho-Cybernetics, I really think you should, just simply for the fact that the basis of the book is that self-image is everything. The book was written by a doctor who was a plastic surgeon, and he realized that the physical alterations to the body weren't as significant as the psychological. And what this means is that the biggest impact that happened wasn't just that the person looked better, it's they became more successful because they believed themselves to be more attractive, more desirable, more this, more worthy. And it's really interesting to see this perspective and understand that self-image determines everything. If you think yourself to be capable, you're probably going to be more likely to get that job, to get that opportunity. And the inverse is also true. Like, if you think you're a loser, if you think you have no right talking to that girl, there's no way you're ever going to get her number. And it's these things that we need to start understanding, because until we understand these principles, we can't begin to take advantage of them. Like, if you don't believe you're good enough, make yourself believe you're good enough, and then that's the first step to getting that goal. But until we just simply flip the script, until we simply start to change our mindset and change the way we view things, like, we'll continue getting the same results. We'll continue not succeeding to the level that we wanted to succeed. And it's really frustrating that we don't choose to pick up like books like this. Like, this book has been out for, I think, over 100 years, and it's still just as applicable from the day that it was published. But so many people would rather just, spend their time on TikTok, spend their time on YouTube watching me, instead of like reading a book that has the potential to transform the individual that you are. And overall, I just want to end it with this. Like, I talked about 3 really good books. Go ahead, pick them up if any of these things sounded interesting. But I just want to say before I go that it doesn't matter what books you pick up. If you pick up a book and you can pull one piece of information, one perspective, one thing that you can apply to the rest of your life, it was worth it. So, like, don't watch these videos saying like, oh, I haven't read any of these books, I'm not doing the right thing. Or don't go on, other people's pages that say you must read this to get success. Like, those are just fancy thumbnails. Those are just fancy titles that are trying to get you to engage in their videos. But like, just take one thing away each day. Take one lesson from each day, and slowly over time that will build up. And when that builds up, it just becomes a crescendo and everything just falls into place. So if you're discouraged right now, don't be discouraged. It gets easier. It gets much, much, much easier with time. And when you first start reading, or if you've been reading for a while and it doesn't feel like you're making any progress, you're supposed to feel that, because it's like anything. When you start out, when you're in that middle phase, when you feel like you're not making any progress, that's when you break through that plateau. That's when everything starts to fall into place. So go ahead, pick up these books if you're interested in them. I'll leave links in the description to these books. On top of that, I have a Discord. Go ahead, join the Discord. I'm gonna really, really, really think of a good book list to put in there. Problem is, I don't want to suggest everything I've read, because I think a lot of books are more useful than others. So I want to keep it more concise so that people have a better understanding of like what I should focus on, things that I should read. And maybe some books are too difficult. Maybe books are topics people don't like to talk about. So I also have to take that into consideration. But that will be in the Discord. On top of that, I have a paid community, $5 a month right now. That's about to be the most valuable thing on the internet, I promise you, because it's my process of improvement. It's my process of self-development. It's my process of finding out who I really am, and I'm going to speed up your process, because I know what you have to do. I know how you have to get there, and I know the mistakes I made, so I can make sure that you don't make the same mistakes. If that sounds interesting to you, consider checking that out, because the price is about to go up. And yeah, if you also, I'll leave it here. This is the last thing I'll say. Also, if you don't like reading, you can also listen to the audiobooks. I think all of these books are free online on YouTube, or I'll leave my Audible affiliate link in the description as well. But yeah, audiobooks are a great resource as well. And yeah, thank you guys so much. Love all you guys. And last thing, tell me one thing you guys are grateful for, either in the comments or down, just saying it out loud. My brain's not working, but today I'm thankful that I get to spend time with family, spend time with my girlfriend, watch the Eagles game, and have a nice stress-free day. Thank you guys so much. Love all you guys. Peace out.